What's up, guys? It's Cooper C&T Designs again, here to shoot another video of paper cuts. This is episode 21, I think. We still haven't made it out of February of 2021 because there are so many anti-gun bills that the Democrats have pushed through. This one has to do with background check denials. So we are using the denied baby plasma cut for this one. Now, most of us, if we thought the NICS system was really stopping criminals from getting firearms, would say it would be great if a felon went to a FFL, tried to pass background check, failed, and then was reported to law enforcement. That's simply not how this works. The overwhelming majority of denials through the NICS system are false positives. What this bill actually attempts to do is like a previous bill that I covered with the big green meanie on the wall back there, who has the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Intimidation, cut into it, is they want to take and basically hound average citizens out there and run them into the ground and pretty much break them financially if they try to go get a firearm legally. So let me do a screen share as always. So let's look at this. All right, so this was introduced to the House. This is March 10th of 2021. Let's see. To provide for the reporting to state and local law enforcement authorities of cases in which the National Instant Criminal Background Check System indicates that a firearm has been sought to be acquired by a prohibited person, so that the authorities may pursue criminal charges under state law, and to ensure the Department of Justice reports to Congress on prosecutions secured against prohibited persons who attempt to acquire a firearm. Notice that doesn't say convictions, that says prosecutions. Why does it say prosecutions? Well, because they know good and damn well that people that they are going to be going after under this act are not, in fact, prohibited possessors. The NICS system has merely reported a false positive on them. So, let's see. Now, this bill, I was planning on covering it the last couple of days. I just have not been able to get around to it. I've shot a couple other videos, but I haven't gotten to this one yet. This is the one I think that Jared from Guns and Gadgets, John Crump, and a couple other guys were talking about, that just tonight, I think, this bill got rolled over into the Violence Against Women Act, which is another act that I've covered, which basically seeks to take a lot of people that shouldn't be prohibited from possessing firearms and turn them into prohibited possessors. So, let's see. Let's get into this. Well, let's go through this. Let's go through some of the memorable names on here, like Eric Swallowswell.
Say that again?
Eric Swallowswell.
That's his real name?
No, it's Swalwell, but I'm pretty sure he probably does swallow well.
Okay, thank you.
My wife was like, really his name? Maybe.
Believe it or not, even though I'm in here, I'll pay attention.
Okay, so the short title of this, the act may be cited as the NICS Denial Notification Act of 2021. Now, another thing to notice on this bill is they don't cover people who are trying to purchase firearms that are merely in the United States illegally. That's something Democrats have fought tooth and nail, where someone who is a non-citizen goes to buy a firearm and is then reported to law enforcement. They pretty much have that carved out in this bill. As always, they got to protect their peeps. So let's see. So starting out, so Section 1 is a short title. Section 2 is the reporting that they want to do here. So going into the reporting, this is where we get into 18 USC 925A, and this actually starts out as the remedy for denial of a refusal to purchase a firearm. because even in their own legislation, when this came out, they knew that there was going to be a lot of false information and a lot of false positives. So people would actually have to sue the government, be it state, local, federal, to actually get their right to purchase a firearm back. And this has a bunch of little carve outs in it saying, well, there will be funds available to help someone fight the denial, which is absolutely crap because most people will go broke trying to fight the federal government on a denial to purchase a firearm. People are denied all the time from purchasing firearms, and very rarely do people have the money to sit there and fight the entire federal government to get their right back. So, this is a section that they add. This was 925A, so they add in 925B. You can see over on the left side where it goes and shows what they're going to edit in the bill. So they add this in. 925B, reporting of background check denials to state authorities. They're basically going to deputize every sheriff's office, police officer, district attorney to go in and press charges on you if you came back as a prohibited possessor on a background check. It's not just a simple case to where they would look at your background, they would run your name, run your social security number, find out, hey, this guy's not a prohibited possessor, so we need to get him out of the system or get his information straight. It's not what they're going to do. Let's see, subparagraph A. In general, the National Instant Background Check System established under the Section 103 of the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, which is... All right, and this gets into 18 U.S.C. 922, provides that a notice pursuant to Section 922T of this title that the receipt of a firearm by a person would violate subsections G or N of the section of 922 of this title or state law, the Attorney General shall, in accordance with subsection B of this section, oh man, all these laws, all these subsections and paragraphs and subparagraphs of subparagraphs, and they haven't stopped a damn thing yet. But they just want to keep stacking on more and more. And all of this is really to punish people who are not criminals but just got denied. Let's see. 1. Report to law enforcement authorities of the state where the person sought to acquire the firearm, and if in a different state, like you were purchasing a long gun, which you can do outside of your own state, they would inform the law enforcement in that state of the person, of the residence of the person. So you go get denied on a background check because your name matched someone else's name, and people will tell you, and people have done the research, this is going to happen more with minorities than it will with I don't know, people like me, because minority names, when they're searching these names, they do it a lot by not necessarily like a social security number or something like that. So two names sounding alike, which generally happens in different ethnic groups, where names will sound alike. One person could be a prohibited possessor, the other person could not be a prohibited possessor, and if their names sound alike, guess who's getting their door kicked in? The guy who actually signed the paperwork on that 4473, he gets basically held up. He would more than likely would not come back as him being a prohibited possessor right then. It would basically be put on hold, which has happened to a couple of people I know for a couple of different reasons. So this person would go try to purchase a firearm. They would be put on hold. They would go home thinking everything's okay. They'll get this stuff straightened out. And all of a sudden, they get law enforcement kicking their door in. That's how this is going to work. They're going to get handcuffs put on them. They are going to get drugged down to the jail with no evidence they're a prohibited possessor. They're going to get charged. They're going to have to go get lawyers to fight all this stuff, pay for their bail, all that. Because there's nothing in here. Nothing in here. The easiest way that they could have done something like this would be to say that if a person comes back as a prohibited possessor, that would be kicked over to law enforcement to investigate, to ensure that that person was in fact a prohibited possessor before they proceeded to go into that person's home and doing all the other stuff. But that's not what this is about. This is not about stopping prohibited possessors. All right, let's see. So the person's residence that was provided notice, the specific provision of the law that would have been violated. So this is going to law enforcement. That's not going to the person who just got held up on a background check. The date and time of the notice was provided, the location where the firearm was sought to be acquired, the identity of the person, and where practical, report the incident to local law enforcement authorities and state and local prosecutors in the jurisdiction where the firearm was sought and in the jurisdiction where the person resides. So it's just going to go out as one big report to all law enforcement around you that you were turned down on a background check, and then that's where they proceed to go ahead and arrest you, put charges on you, all that. And so far, again, nothing in here says that they are going to pull that form, they are going to do research, they're going to check your address with the person's address. No, this is all, they're just coming after you. So requirements for a report. A report is made in accordance with this subsection if the report is made within 24 hours after the provision of the notice described in subsection A up there, except that the making of the report may be delayed for so long as necessary to avoid compromising an ongoing investigation. That ongoing investigation is on the person to basically see where they're at. That is not about their background. All right. Rule of construction. Nothing in the subsection shall be construed to require a report with respect to a person to be made to the same state authorities that originally issued the notice with respect to the person. So you could be not denied basically on a state level, and when this comes back through NICS to the FBI, they don't have to report that to the state. The FBI can just set wheels in motion to come get your raggedy ass. All right, annual reports to Congress. Not later than 1 year after the date of enactment of this section and annually thereafter, the Attorney General shall submit to Congress a report detailing the following, broken down by federal judicial district. So whether it's the Southern District of New York, the Northern District of Florida, the Northern District of Georgia, each one of those would be reported in their respective district. With respect to each category of person prohibited by Section 922G from receiving or possessing a firearm who are so denied a firearm, the number of cases referred to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. The number of cases with respect to which an investigation was opened by a field division of the Bureau of Tobacco, Alcohol, Firearms, and Explosives, the number of arrests made, and the number of convictions obtained by the federal authorities in connection with the denial. Number of arrests and then the number of actual convictions split into two different things. Now, part of that reason is they know they will make more arrests than they are going to make convictions, because the vast majority of people who will be reported as a prohibited possessor through the NICS system are in fact false positives. I think that number is as high as like 90 to 95%. It's another reason, the more research I do, I am completely against the background checks. And the NRA and all the other dumbasses who jumped onto the NICS system trying to find middle ground with the left in this country are idiots. There are more proof that there is no middle ground with these people. Alright, let's see. Under D, paragraph 2, The number of, let's see, did I read that one? The number of convictions obtained by federal authorities in connection with the denial. So remember, these are all federal charges. Now, it's funny when Joe Biden's own son is out there and they have proof that he lied on a 4473, that his girlfriend at the time threw her gun in the dumpster, had his laptop, all the other stuff, and nothing's going to be done to him. When all the proof is out there. 100%. Nope. Rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah, his raggedy ass ain't gonna. He's not gonna suffer a thing for the crap he's done. For lying on that 4473, purchasing a gun when he was in fact addicted to a bunch of different drugs. I think mainly crack cocaine at the time. I think this is the final section of reporting here. I think this is it. So the final section, the number of background check notices reported to state authorities pursuant to 925B, which is this section, including the number of notices that would have been so reported but for section 925BC. Oh, man. These people love to run their mouths on stuff. So when they're talking about 925BC, this is BC. Remember when we talked about they don't have to make the report in respect to like an ongoing investigation. So anyway, that's this bill. You guys keep an eye out, man. Start calling some Congress critters. Start writing some letters to them. I've still got to write some more. I have a hard time thinking it's going to do any good with the letters that I've gotten back from my Congress people and the lack of any kind of response I've gotten back from some representatives, both state and federal. So we'll see how this goes. But you guys get out there, man. It takes a little bit to write a letter. Look. Let me see, because I probably still have congress.gov up on my computer. Let me get my little fat ass out of the way up here. Go to members. Congress.gov, you can click on members. You can find your senators, find your reps, and let's just do this let's just do it by state. So we'll go to Alabama, since these are my critters. So each one of these guys, the reason their name is highlighted or blue or purple right now instead of the normal color is because I've emailed all of these guys in the last 2 weeks, Democrat and Republican. I don't give a damn what party they're with. I've emailed them and tried to contact them over all the crap that the ATF's trying to do right now. I've heard back from Tuberville, and I've heard back from oh God, let me flip down. I'll find his name real fast because I'm drawing a blank. Shelby. Yeah, I've heard from Tuberville. I've heard from Shelby. Both of them, if you look at my video that I did on those letters, it's a bunch of milquetoast BS. It addresses exactly nothing that I wrote in those letters. So I'm going to craft more letters, and I'm going to send more letters to them, and I'm going to send more letters to them, and I'm going to end up calling offices. Maybe I can be a big enough pain in their ass where I'll at least get a actual response from one of them that requires something more than a form letter. And you guys do the same, man. Look, everything that you need to contact these idiots is right here on congress.gov. All you got to do is click on their name. All right, you've got the number to call them on, and you've got their email address. All right, the only thing they don't do is make the call or write the letter for you. Are you going to get their desk and probably not even get to talk to them? More than likely. But you can still try to put some pressure on. You can still flood their emails with letters or flood their offices with calls. That's the only power we have with these assholes because they don't represent us. I mean, you look at these people. All right, this guy's been in the Senate since 1987. Before he was in the Senate, he was in the House from 79 to 87. That's this guy's career. And like many others, he's made millions doing it. So I wasn't going to. I might film one more tonight. I might just go crash because I'm tired and these guys are getting aggravated. So anyway, you guys out there, y'all be cool. And if we're back with another one tonight, if not, we'll try to be back with another one tomorrow. And y'all take them easy. I'm out.